All right. Good morning, Speed Gaming fans, and welcome to this match of the gold bracket of Sforzand0 vs ScotTroid. This is the Super Metroid Any Percent tournament, and my name is Eddie, and joining me is the Hockey Towner. Hockey, how are you doing?
I gotta tell you, Eddie, from our little brief conversation in the green room, I'm really getting excited for not only this race, but the tournament proper. It's kicked off, and any percent, huge prize pool, gold bracket, double elimination. I mean, what other superlatives do we have in our vocabulary to describe what these two esteemed runners bring to the table today, Sforzand0 and ScotTroid?
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really exciting match. Gotta say, they're both pretty darn evenly matched, with Sforzand0 having, I believe, a PB of 44 minutes and 19 seconds, and ScotTroid also having a PB of 44 minutes and 34 seconds, assuming I have the numbers accurate. So these are, I believe, both of these PBs for both of these players are very recent. So when we're talking about a close match between two players, likely running some variation of new route, either PRKD or PKRD. Man, this is going to be a good one. I'm very excited.
I completely agree, Eddie. Both of these runners coming in, like you said, with recent PBs in top form. You know, it's just like an athletic contest. You can't peak too early, right, Eddie? You got to peak just in the right time for a tournament setting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great race. They're working their way off a series station now. Hopefully, not taking too much time loss from Steam or magnet stairs. But I am curious to see what route they're gonna run. I think PKRD is a really viable alternative for a race setting.
I really think so too. I mean, I timed this out with QD earlier, but ultimately PKRD. So essentially, you're doing the fastest route, but instead of Ridley first, you go for Kraid first. I mean, typically you will grab an extra E-Tank, and that is kind of a significant time loss. But assuming you don't grab that E-Tank and you just, you do a gravity jump instead. I mean, even if you don't do the gravity jump, if you go for the lava spark, which is one of the more dangerous tricks, which is mitigated by going Kraid second, it's really only a 6-second time loss plus whatever time that you have to farm to regain the super missiles that you need going into Meridia. So that's usually somewhere around 10 seconds. So it's ultimately going to be like about a 16-second time loss for honestly a much safer chance at not dying at this route, which is very possible. Even at the highest level, you'll see runners die. And yeah, I would say when we're talking kind of at the level that Sforzand0 and ScotTroid play at, it is a little bit nerve-wracking because when you get to people like Zost or something, you don't really expect them to make any mistakes as much, even though it still happens. So you will see some deaths left, but when you're not talking about like literally the best players in the entire world, this route is very scary, especially in a race.
I have to agree with you there, Eddie, but our runners are aided by that movement technique known as the moonfall. Both of them with beautiful moonfalls in the parlor as well as down the reverse climb, as I like to call it. But clean elevators, too. I love a good elevator, Eddie.
Yeah, the worst is when you kind of get stuck there. You try going down the elevator, you start doing some squats, and that's not the most fun thing to ever see.
So S4 and Scott are going to pick up that morph ball and that first missile pack, as they always do. As we said, this is any percent. No major glitches. Likely a Phantoon first routing here. So just a little bit of housekeeping at the beginning, a little bit of pickup, and then oh boy, Eddie, we're going to be off to the races. Have to contend with the difficulty of crossing that moat and doing Phantoon with very limited equipment as well as health. So
definitely.
Highly challenging category.
Yeah, so a little bit more background information of the tournament in general. This is the gold bracket. This is the major $12,000 prize pool.
12,000.
That's definitely historic in the Super Metroid community. So there's a lot at stake. Every jump that these players can make is going to be, that's a significant amount that you can bring home. So, yeah, ScotTroid looking like he's having a little bit of issues in this pit room. Sforzand0 I think he got the nice pit boost, but in the end, Sforzand0 picks up a little bit of time. He was a little bit behind, so both of them. Oh no, ScotTroid going for that wall jump climb, and we got the ledge grab climb for Sforzand0.
Both of those climbs are looking so. I had to say something. S4 with a little stumble there, but ScotTroid still on a great rhythm here. Just having to do battle with these pirates, trying not to take any damage ahead of this Bomb Chorizo fight. But commentator curse strikes again, Eddie. But those were showcasing the differences and similarities of those two climbs.
Yep. Yeah, so ScotTroid definitely having some issues. These are some of the hardest rooms in the game. Don't let it fool you, even though it's the beginning of the game. The platforming to get to that top. I mean, what was Deer Force thinking? That climb room, if you're a casual, I actually was told recently by a friend of mine that when they first played Super Metroid and they fell in the climb room, they started crying when they were a little kid. That's brutal. Like, what were they thinking? They're like,
why do I have to do this again?
That's a brutal room when you're starting out. It is a brutal room.
I mean, it's brutal in Nestroid, it's brutal in Super Metroid. No, whether Metroid 1 or 3, it's very hard. We got a Bomb Chorizo fight here. Runners are trying to keep their shots in groups of 5, trying not to grab all of those missiles, or at least dispensing with at least one if they pick up all 5. Because I learned the hard way that BT will just start shock waving you to death if you have 5 or more missiles. So I thought it was more than 5. It is 5, greater than or equal to is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so ultimately, no decapitation animation.
No, I forgot to say it!
Sforzand0 and ScotTroid both having perfect BTs and getting out of here. Because of the early game, Sforzand0 does have a little bit of a lead, but, you know, I've been told by some wise players, Riorn specifically, that it doesn't really feel like you're starting the run until you get past that gravity time, because, you know, Phantoon is sort of like the great equalizer here. At the very end, Sforzand0 can be ahead, but depending on what happens on Phantoon, ScotTroid could absolutely take the lead.
That's an excellent point, Eddie. Excellent point. Yeah, I think that is probably the #1 reset point. Probably that in series for this route is Phantoon. Such a difficult boss fight. I mean, going in with only a single energy tank above your starting health and what, like 2 missile packs? If you know, it's nothing. It's just not enough to beat the boss for casuals like me. Love that. Going back up S4 to grab those missile drops and down enemies, and the sequence breaking off the chain here, Eddie. So simple, so well executed from both runners.
Sequence breaking? Are these players cheating? I can't believe it. They can't get those super missiles without killing Spore Spawn.
Eddie just summed up basically every YouTube comment in the history of Super Metroid speedrunning and speedrunning proper. My goodness. No, it is not cheating if you find a more efficient way to go through the game, exploiting the mechanics of the game, and that is what our runners did with that mock ball to get those early supers.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so we have ScotTroid looking like he's going to try to pick up jumps and grab those missiles. All right, the 2 extra missiles. You want all the missiles you can get for Phantoon, because to 2-round the Phantoon fight, or just to kill Phantoon in general, you don't have any X-Factor strats with power bombs. You're going to have to get that big Doppler, and every missile from this point on definitely counts.
For sure, for sure. Those Doppler missiles are pretty challenging to get to connect. We even see some runners executing what's known as an air Doppler at times, depending on the way Phantoon flies back onto the screen. And just really, really difficult but satisfying technique to defeat that boss.
Yes, definitely. So a little bit more background information. As I said, both of these players, in terms of their PBs, are very, very close to each other. I think only 20 seconds apart. Sforzand0 is the 13th seed, and ScotTroid is the 20th seed heading into this. I would say the one thing that Sforzand0, primarily, aside from, you know, having the slightly better PB, is Sforzand0's consistency in the qualifiers was absolutely amazing. I don't think he took a single death, actually, completing 6 of the 8 qualifiers. I don't even know if he played. Yeah, he played 6 qualifiers and he completed all 6 of them, which is for this route that they're running as they're going up this red tower is absolutely incredible. I mean, I don't know if any other players had that level of completing races. Actually, he might be the only one that's completed every single one going new route.
That's amazing. Really a testament to S4's ability and, as you said, consistency. But can't count out ScotTroid in this contest. ScotTroid also a formidable Super Metroid runner.
Oh,
as
definitely.
They make their way to those alpha power bombs, trying to nail those D-boosts off those booyahs, Eddie.
Booyahs! So I do have to point out, ScotTroid did farm in the Hellway. That is definitely a good race strategy. I think ScotTroid did have some troubles in the qualifiers completing. I'm not sure where, if it was Phantoon or the early game, but farming some of those mobs in the hallway to, I don't think he got much health, but getting some extra missiles. And honestly, you don't want to die here in Phantoon. You want to make sure that everything's good. We'll see if he employs more strategies. Maybe he'll farm these crabs for the extra health because Sforzand0 having some trouble laying that power bomb here. But that's definitely something to consider in a race setting, because in a qualifier, well, you got a few more qualifiers. In this race, you die and you probably aren't going to beat, you know, the other player if that happens.
I mean, only if the other player also takes a death. Sometimes that does occur. But you talk about great equalizers, Eddie. This is one of them, is crossing the moat with this item loadout. Oh, that's for sticking the continuous wall jump. ScotTroid, though, having to reset the room. And I don't know if he made it onto this missile platform.
Yeah, I think you should be able to make it there. Yeah, it's always a little deceptive.
Nice.
But Sforzand0, yeah, so ScotTroid having some trouble here with the moat. Sforzand0 getting across CWJ, I'm sure he's ecstatic about that, because honestly, you can very often, we even saw Zenny in the qualifiers, he fell in this moat like 2 or 3 times, and Zenny is literally one of the best players in the entire world. So this is a time loss for sure.
Yeah, Zenny, newly minted top 10 any percent runner with that 41, I believe. Yes. Incredible time. But yeah, ScotTroid going to just try this horizontal bomb jump. The backups, Eddie, are harder than the mainline strats. They're so difficult, so finicky.
Yes,
but as
absolutely.
for having to do battle with the ghost, and going back to our Booyans comment, we do have chat saying, did they say Booyans or Boo Earns? I was saying Boo Earns, but anyway, little popular animated television show reference there. Contractually obligated to not mention it, though. But we are contractually obligated, Eddie, to talk about this Phantoon fight, this slow pattern.
Oh, 6 missile Doppler for Sfor, so he can actually get the 2-round. This is going to require a 5 missile Doppler, assuming he gets the other 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That flame's in the way. He's, yeah, Sfor's a little
those stupid flames.
Yeah, okay, he wasn't going to go for the 2-round after that. That flame got in the way, but Phantoon, recovering with that fast. So that's a good fight. That's a good fight for Sfor. What was that? A slow mid fast? Yeah,
I mean, fast in increasing order of speed. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much a 2-round slow. You can kind of think of it that way. Meanwhile, it looks like ScotTroid gets across the moat, starting this Phantoon fight. I mean, let's see if ScotTroid gets like a good pattern, gets a 2-round, can absolutely make up a lot of time here.
No question about it, I'm remiss. I mean, ScotTroid did nail that horizontal jump to cross the moat, but I was too busy acting a fool on the mic, as I am wont to do, Eddie. But it's just something about doing comms with you that brings out the worst in me. Totally kidding. But that was following up with the fast pattern. Shoot, that's so close on that air drop.
4 fast? Oh, it's 4 fast.
Are you joking me? 4 fast, 4 furious for ScotTroid, Eddie?
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever seen anything like that? I haven't in any percent. I've been watching this for a long time.
I mean, maybe a year ago I saw someone clip a 4 fast, but I've never seen one live, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
The quad fast.
All right, well, that's definitely going to help. Yeah, I mean, Sforzand0 definitely still has a sizable lead because ScotTroid had some troubles in the moat, but I mean, that's going to help for sure.
No doubt about it. Any sort of time save, we take those, Eddie, and I'm sure ScotTroid does too. But as for about to head into this this bowling cutscene, just has to cross all the spikes. Health is looking phenomenal. Ammo's pretty good. 6 supers leaving wreck ship is make it 7 hockey.
All right. Reverse commentator's curse there, but yeah, 8 supers. That's prime. Typically, you get that many supers, you might not go for a farm on those cat. Oh, Sforzand0 has to be a little careful. Okay.
Whew.
Yeah, that bowling, he got a weird little deboost there, and that often throws off your timing because if you nice little deboost for ScotTroid there, but if you
beautiful.
If you take 2 minutes in that bowling, you're automatically dead. And I was a little nervous there. Yeah. I think it's definitely more scary if it happens at the first jump. But yeah, I figured Sforzand0 would be okay. But if he did take that extra hit, he would have lived, but he would have had that health bomb, making it so that he would not potentially get the drops that he wants later on, particularly maybe missing out a few supers later on.
You know, for sure, Eddie, for sure. But ScotTroid is really on a blistering pace here heading into bowling. That was a beautiful attic, very well optimized. Just needs to nail these jumps. across and hopefully not get sucked in with an accidental deep boost. We saw S4 come by the skin of ScotTroid's teeth, avoiding the third spike hit there. Very nice.
Yeah, so ScotTroid definitely taking that a little bit more conservatively. I don't know if that's something that he would do in PB pace, but he did not do like this little backwards deboost. You probably saw Sforzand0 when he was running across. When he landed on the spikes, he actually got knocked to the right a little bit. And that's really scary when you first learn it, because you have to press left right before you land. And if you mess it up, you might just die. At some point, it becomes second nature for runners, but ScotTroid choosing not to go with that strategy. It saves a little bit of time if you can land on the hand directly without having to do an extra jump. But it's also, you know, don't want to risk dying in a race.
Don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk it, Eddie. Oh, look at this. Look at these Hellway deboosts from Sforzand0. Very well executed, very clean. And how about a moonfall down Red Tower? Very nice.
Yeah, I've got to say, Sforzand0 really not giving ScotTroid much breathing room. He's playing really well right now.
That's the thing about these kind of these mid-40s runners, is you have to know kind of when to dial up the intensity or the aggressiveness while you're running. But Sforzand0 is definitely feeling it. Definitely playing well, executing well. Had a great Phantoon. Oh, great wreck ship overall for both runners. But
yes,
just about to grab the Spazer.
And you know, oh yeah, sorry.
Laser beam. No, you go.
Something I do want to talk about is I don't know, the racers are allowed to watch each other on the restream, right? And Sforzand0 definitely has this pretty sizable advantage at this point. Like, something I would seriously consider, at the beginning, I'd probably go all out with someone like ScotTroid, because they are pretty evenly matched in terms of PB. But if I see that I have this kind of lead, I would seriously consider going Kraid second, and then maybe grabbing the Kraid E-Tank to just ensure that I have no issues moving forward. And with that advantage, I could do that. But I don't know if Sforzand is going to, yeah, as you can see, Sforzand goes straight down the elevator. I don't know if he's the type of person that has even practiced that or will kind of think like that. Perhaps he's just going to go aggressive. But, you know, with the advantage he has, he can consider maybe taking a few extra safeties that he wouldn't normally.
That's true. That's very true, Eddie. But we did see just not going Kraid second, just going full throttle down to Norfair, which means Ridley will be the next boss.
Oh, yes.
Sforzand takes on. But interested to see what ScotTroid's going to do.
Yeah, ScotTroid. It's always strange in these races. Not strange, but very interesting. You would think that PB paces are the same, but PBs essentially by definition, you're going for an outlier time that you'd ever really get.
Yeah.
But in a race setting, like, you know, you just want a good time that can complete and beat your opponent. So I think definitely if you're trying to optimize playing well in a race, there are maybe considerations that you should take. Maybe you won't do a strategy that's ultimately faster, but more safe, and will ensure that you have a better chance at completing the run. So yeah, definitely interested to see what sort of, you know, safeties and choices that the runners make.
No doubt, Eddie, no doubt. It's great that you brought that up. I mean, that is kind of the definition of a personal best, is that it's not really an average time. It is certainly an outlier, as you astutely pointed out.
Yeah.
But in a race setting, you're playing the averages. Like, you're basically, what are my most consistent strats, not necessarily my fastest ones? What are going to ensure that I complete the category, complete the race, and hopefully beat my opponent?
Yes, definitely. And but yeah, all these players currently not at a risk of dying or anything like that. Just kind of running through these upper Norfair rooms. They're all quite difficult, but nothing's gonna kill you here until we kind of get to that lava spark point, and then we get to that lower Norfair. Right now, everyone's just getting all that equipment they need to complete the Ridley fight.
No doubt, Eddie, no doubt. But that was a great ice escape there, freezing those what the heck are those things called? Those little flying platforms, Eddie? I always forget. They have a really strange name. I think it's
so they're not rippers.
No, they're not, but it sounds like ripper.
Yeah, it's like something
like trappers.
Tripper. I think
Tripper,
so,
ripper, yeah. Trapper, keeper. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, not bouillons though. That's
definitely not bouillons. Oh, look at this! Look at that! Got that ice stairs with the deboost into Batcave from Sforzand0. And an ice escape from ScotTroid. I mean, these runners are playing great.
Yep, definitely. That Bubble Mountain was definitely a good way to traverse that Bubble Mountain. It's fast. You get a nice little farm. Let's see how ScotTroid approaches it. That's interesting. Bubble Mountain, there's so many different strategies that you can approach it, and a lot of the top runners all actually do different strategies in that room. Yeah. If you've seen the high level, the really high level top seeds play, you'll see a lot of them go for that right side Bubble Mountain, but that is a really hard trick, and it's kind of punishing if you fail. So let's see what ScotTroid chooses to go for here.
For sure, Eddie. But Sforzand maintaining his lead. Oh, look at that! Just the little floating.
Yep.
Floating ice stairs there.
Yeah, slightly different movement, but yeah, Sforzand and ScotTroid kind of going for the same thing where they freeze that bottom guy and just kind of jump up there. It's a good strat, that's for sure.
I love it. And Chad pointing out it's called a tripper because it's a ripper that gives you a free trip. Oh, that's so wholesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. But we will have another missile pack and another beam add-on for Sforzand. That's going to be the wave beam, and that's it. That's the beam. Yep. That's all our runners get with this Phantoon first category.
Now, I've got to say something, Hockey. Sforzand had great resources going in. I think just did a one farm and just went for it. ScotTroid's super's not looking good. Only 3 supers. And on his entry, he did a little farm quick and actually missed the drops. So is going to have to do a few more farms here. I'm assuming he wants to have at least 7 or so supers before going.
Yeah, that's terrible luck from those drops. That's really unfortunate for ScotTroid.
6 supers. ScotTroid definitely feeling the pressure here because, you know, if he was Sforzand0 and had that lead, I think he might have just farmed a few more times, maybe had that 8 supers, but you know, you don't want to be leaving with 6, but you know, you can't spend too much time here because, you know, you have to make up this time against Sforzand0. So he's going to have to rely a bit on the Metal Pirates luck in Lower Norfair to cap out his supers if possible. Meanwhile, we have Sforzand0 going for this Lava Spark. This is a really important trick.
Let's do it. He's got the Shine Spark. He's got the D boost.
Oh my gosh, that was like a pixel up. I thought he missed it.
But way to go, Sport.
And no save for Sforzand0.
Oh, wow.
So he's going for it. Definitely, we got to watch ScotTroid when it gets to the Lava Spark room, but all eyes currently on Sforzand0 because this is Lower Norfair. That music gets the blood pumping. It really dangerous here.
This is the most treacherous. This is the Chozo proving ground right here. This is the final test for Samus Aran here. This is the end of the game, but it's now the middle of this category.
That's for sure.
Look at this. Fast Pillars Spark, 21 plus another 99 energy, entering worst room in the game. Notoriously difficult in this boss order.
All right, will he get up the worst room in the game?
As I say that, Eddie, S4 is only perfect. But did take that damage off that pirate there.
Yeah, top of the hit. Looks like ScotTroid, I don't know if he forgoed the Lava Spark because I saw him roll in. So has a lot more health, is definitely slower. Sforzand definitely gained time on that Lava Spark. But yeah, ScotTroid taking a more conservative approach, gravity jumping up there, and is going to have a lot of extra health for this Lower Norfair. Meanwhile, Sforzand0, honestly on fire aside from taking that one hit, but he could take that hit given that he did everything else perfectly fine. We just have to see if he gets through this wasteland, and we got to see if ScotTroid can get through with his Pillar Spark or if he's just going to power bomb. But yeah, looks like he's going for that Pillar Spark.
Going for that short charge, trying to get that. Oh, beautiful. Perfectly executed from ScotTroid.
Yep.
Wasteland also very difficult if you get out of rhythm with those Deskigas. They really pack a punch. Like you say, everyone says it. Eddie, you say it the best. Every enemy in Lower Norfair hits like a truck.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, can you tell me the license plate number of the truck that ran me over in Lower Norfair? My goodness. But beautiful Metal Pirates there from Sforzand and going into Ridley with great resources, Eddie.
Yep. Yeah, 9 supers. You want to leave with 10, but honestly, he's got really good health. He's got really good supers. Let's see if he can pick up. Oh, yeah, 1 extra super there. Messes up that little farm at the end. But honestly, 8 supers, 216 health. This is fine. Looks like ScotTroid missed the spark up there. Yeah, ScotTroid's going to be careful here. ScotTroid doesn't want to take it. He doesn't want to die.
You gotta be safe with those darn red key hunters because they're so treacherous.
Yep. You know, we got this Ridley fight going. ScotTroid looking like he's got plenty of health, so I think he's going to be fine. Let's see how this Ridley fight goes for Sfor. Very well equipped with a lot of health, good amount of supers, and yeah, resources looking good. Yeah, Sfor not doing any sort of strategies that employ running through Ridley's tail. With this much health, you would consider it a PvP pace, but it is a small time game for a lot of damage.
No doubt, no doubt. But great manipulations there with that pogo. Great roll unders under that lethal tail of Ridley's. He's really maintaining the edge here against Ridley. ScotTroid 40 energy heading into Metal Pirates, sparking into the ceiling to defeat those pirates with those speed echoes. And entering with 8 supers, not bad.
8 supers and, you know, 171 health. This health isn't that great for ScotTroid because he does not have Ice Beam equipped. This means he's probably going to do some sort of X Factor stretch, which typically involve colliding with Ridley, and that's always really scary. Maybe he'll forego something beyond 2 X Factors. We're gonna have to see, because I think Sforzand0 has this fight under control.
Look at this, kind of a D-Factor-esque opener. Reselects power bombs to oh no! Didn't quite get the particles to land just as Sfor finishes off Ridley. So now ScotTroid pretty much defenseless until those particles go off screen. 95 health here.
Yeah. This is really sketchy for ScotTroid because 95 HP with a lot of fight to go. Sforzand0's going to get the Ridley E-Tank. Not messing around. It is optimal to grab the Phantoon E-Tank later on and foregoing this Ridley E-Tank. But exiting lower Norfair is definitely one of the most dangerous spots. Oh, Ridley taking a swipe at Scott right there.
Watch that tail.
Oh, come on, ScotTroid. So
come on. Pump those missiles and then get that fusillade of supers in there, ScotTroid. Chat, give ScotTroid your energy. Yep. It all depends on this next color change from Ridley.
All right. Oh, taking an extra hit there. ScotTroid, I think, only has about 2 hits left before dying. So, gotta hope here. Sforzand0 with the Ridley E-Tank. Normally, this is a dangerous area, but I think Sforzand0 is going to have no issues getting out alive. So we have to keep our eyes here on ScotTroid.
Oh, no! Eddie, bar the door! No!
That was so unfortunate for ScotTroid.
So close.
He got scammed there at the end because Ridley, I could see there's a noise that he makes when his tail collides with the wall. You see the dust scatter, you hear that do-do-do, and that means Ridley is going to do a pogo.
Yeah.
But because ScotTroid was kind of in the air, Ridley decided to change his mind on that same frame. Was gonna do the pogo, and then said, no, I'm not doing the pogo, I'm gonna go for a swoop. So ScotTroid realized that last second, tried to make it out. Good realization from ScotTroid, but it was just a little bit too late. So unfortunate. 35 HP, that body hits you for 40, the tail hits you for 30.
Oh my gosh.
That's so unfortunate. ScotTroid's gonna go and reload here and try to finish this out. But yeah, Sforzand0 grabbing that Ridley E-Tank is definitely going to be in a really good spot to take this race.
Did you see those maneuvers around those 3 Musketeers, Eddie? I mean, Sfor was pixels away from colliding with any 3 of them, but somehow just evades them. Incredible movement from Sfor there. And finally gets to put lower Norfair in his rearview mirror.
Oh yeah, you know, I've got to say, honestly, this entire race, there was some hiccups in the early game, but Sfor has been on fire. Like, he's playing really well right now. It really just goes to show, you know, I said he played 6 qualifiers, he completed 6 qualifiers. This man is consistent.
No doubt.
You know, it's scary if a top seed has to go against Sfor. You know, the top seeds are extremely good at this game, but like, this guy doesn't die apparently.
No, for sure.
You gotta be careful no matter who you are against this guy. He's really on fire.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Eddie. And the other thing to consider too is those top runners are always going for most of the time going for the quickest, most difficult, and oftentimes even for them, less consistent strategies throughout the run. And so if S4 keeps playing with that consistency, can kind of build up a little head of steam and take advantage of those mistakes. I mean, look at last year's tournament. We saw that a lot. We saw some very fast runners go down to quote unquote slower players.
Yeah, I got knocked into the losers bracket from P12. At the time, he had a PB, I think, of a 48, and yeah, he knocked me into losers.
Oh my gosh. But then Eddie decided to go with the forbidden tech. He catapulted himself all the way to the 42. Incredible. Incredible. But we're going to have a little Kraid quick kill set up here for Sfor. Missile selected, double missile, 3 supers right to Kraid's mouth, stun locked. Set it and forget it. It's like a Showtime rotisserie oven. My goodness, Eddie. But ScotTroid, I think in the race time room has officially forfeited, but still showing great sportsmanship to continue on with this reset run.
Yes, absolutely, and we definitely have to keep watching Sfor. I mean, I think the wisest thing for him to do is probably take a save at some point just to make sure he can finish this. But yeah, I mean, 20 missiles, 7 supers, health looking great. Even grabbed that earlier tank. Yeah, this is real good for Sfor.
This is good shape. Now, if it were me, Eddie, and I was Sfor and I was on this pace, I think I'd take the Kraid save as my save. You know, just do something a little different. But getting bullied by those green key hunters a little bit in the party room didn't quite get that manipulation. Jumping through the door and skip. Oh yeah, of course, skipping the Kraid tank because they're gonna get my favorite E tank in the entire game.
Yes, it is your. We'll see. We'll see if it's going to be your favorite.
We'll see, Eddie. Certain conditions, void where prohibited. Certain conditions must be met in order for it to be the Hockey Towner's favorite E tank. But
yep.
I mean, to leave Norfair with like a mid 28 time is that's a testament to your skill as a runner. That's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, completely on fire. Even when he's like stumbling a little bit, recovers very quickly.
No doubt.
Yeah, just honestly, Sfor's looking pretty dangerous. I gotta say, he's looking pretty dangerous.
In fine shape early in the tournament, but it's a marathon slog with double elimination with 24 combatants. That made it into this gold bracket. And how is the you don't have to give me the exact dollar amounts, but how does the payout? When does the payout start? At what round?
So basically 80% goes to the top 3. And then of the remainder 20%, the next 80% of that goes to the is kind of distributed amongst the bottom, if that makes sense.
Okay. That's
so
cool.
In terms of, as of right now, in terms of prize pool jumps, I mean, I think last time I saw you start at $15, if I remember. Let me double check.
And then it's like geometric series. It just goes up from there.
Yeah. So given the $12,000 prize pool we have right now, if you can make it into the top 16, you'll get 30. And then from there, if you make it to the next round, every round you go after that, it goes from 30 to 90 to 180, 300, 960, 1920, 2880, and then 4800 for that grand finals winner. Yeah,
absolutely incredible. Oh, look at this from ScotTroid going with the American Red Cross. Oh wait, no, we're gonna see. Yes, we're gonna see a moon dance. Oh my goodness, ScotTroid pulling out all the tricks on this reset, but S4 with that wonderful one-round Phantoon, but unfortunately, Eddie, no Yahtzee. So I am bound by the contractual obligation. It is no longer my favorite E-tank today.
Did he attempt it, or did he?
It's hard to say. I didn't get a close look at it.
It is a hard trick. I have a feeling that he didn't go for it because you could just kind of morph in there and make sure you don't fall in the sand pit.
Make sure you don't fall in the sand pit and lose like 3 minutes.
Yeah, you lose a lot of time if you do for sure. So that wasn't the greatest opening for us for.
Geez, yeah, getting gooped and grabbed here, but escaping without a tail swipe.
Yeah, I want to say like 2 supers will do the trick here, but Sfor's gonna go ahead and just spark it.
Or double goop.
Walk into the web.
Walk into the web.
2 supers. I'm calling it right here.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh
yeah, there we go.
A little 1-2 punch there from Sfor. Very nice, and trying to set up this spike suit.
I think Sfor realized something. If anyone is a frequenter of Sforzand0's stream, there is a very infamous clip where he sparks Dragon and almost dies because of the chain damage. and he keeps the blue suit, and he's like freaking out, and then he walks into Dragon's dead body, and then actually the Dragon keeps hitting him, and then
no way, no freaking way.
That might be one of his most popular clips on his channel. So I think Sforzand thought about that for a second and realized, yeah, you know, maybe I shouldn't spark Dragon. Maybe I should let's just drop the supers and make sure that nothing really bad happens.
Supers. And he's like, two supers, Sforz, 2 supers. It's 2 supers. That's all. Just watch this, 2 supers.
Just do it. You got time to farm here.
Wanted him to not spark so badly. But now ScotTroid though has done the moon dance, has built up basically infinite fall speed.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. There it is. There it is. Early power bombs access for that reverse boss order route. That is the moon dance.
Yeah,
who said that takes 2 minutes? That didn't take no 2 minutes. That was like a minute and a half tops. Like, give me a break. In like a 50-some minute run, 1 hour, it's nothing. Who cares? Moon dance didn't kill RBO. I'm sticking to my guns. You know what killed RBO? RBO killed RBO. No, I'm totally kidding. Wrong category. This is any percent. The wheels are still on. We're still on the tracks, Eddie, somehow.
Yeah.
But Sfor with a double farm here, getting nothing but health. Needs some supers here.
Yeah, has to get through this gate, and then there's another red door to G4 that he has to break open. And so definitely need to grab some of those supers. Now, I do want to mention with what you said about RBO, interesting that you mentioned, because the winner of this match, which is looking like Sforzand0 at this point, is going to be they're going to have to go up against the RBO world record holder in the name of Shiny Zenny.
I think I've heard of Shiny Zenny.
I think I've heard of that guy too. He's pretty good at this
game, isn't he?
He's pretty good at this game, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Well, that is, I mean, who really wants to be in those shoes? But that's the beauty of Super Metroid tournaments, Eddie. You're so gracious and so glad that you've organized another one. Ooh, love that ball boost. Love that temporary blue through that wall in Parlor. Very nicely done from Sfor. But
that's
I mean,
not an easy trick.
No, but if anybody can do it, Sfor can do it. Just raise that competitive level and take it to Shiny Zenny. Although Shiny Zenny is a fierce competitor all himself, so it's going to be off the chain if that's going to be the way it shakes out.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. This tournament, it's kind of funny. It was definitely mentioned before. Sfor said this as he was doing comms the other day, but you know, the top 8 runners here, which are got to buy to this next round, are all like legendary names basically.
Yeah,
they're all extremely really strong. So it's kind of funny in this first round between you know, the bottom 16 seeds. Like you win, and then it's like, congratulations, your prize is you have to go against someone that's like some of the best players in the entire world. So it's tough. But honestly, if there's anyone that has like a good chance, it's going to be the runners that are consistent.
Yes.
And so that means that would mean that, you know, even if Sfor is you know, doesn't have like the same kind of PB that Zenny does, if Sfor does a lava spark, gets through Ellen without dying, goes relatively fast, then that means like someone like Zenny or Zoes, you know, these great players, they can't necessarily just, you know, grab 15 E-tanks, save like every save point and just be really safe.
Right.
Like, that means that they're going to have to make sure that they're not always doing all the safe strats. And if they die, they die. You know, that could be it. We've seen upsets happen, especially at any percent.
No doubt.
Zoes has been, Zoes has been talking that, like, you know, he's still nervous, even though, you know, he got back-to-back 40s the other day.
So nervous.
He's still nervous. Yeah.
So nervous with back-to-back 40s.
For good
just
reason,
like
though.
Nothing, Eddie. Like, no, I think I'll run it. Zost, I think, I don't know this for certain. I haven't talked to Zost about this, but I'm pretty certain that Zost wakes up in the morning, he just is having his morning coffee. He's like, I think I'll run a 40 today.
We do have a certain special Super Metroid players saying not to hex him for the future races.
We do. Some anonymous but incredibly skilled Super Metroid runner.
Yeah, but yeah, like I'm saying, I mean, in the end, you saw ScotTroid, you know, he did take that death, you know, tried to take some precautions to make sure he doesn't, but Super Metroid at any percent, at the highest level, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are, it's always going to be scary. Like, bad things can happen. Phantoon can kill you. There's ways to mitigate it, but you know, you get someone as good as Sfor. Ooh, misses that baby skip.
That's okay.
That's okay. He's got
Won't
time.
hold it against him.
But yeah, I mean, you get someone like Sforzand0, and if he can just hit all the tricks that he can, plays as well as he does right now, even top players, they can't mess around.
No doubt, Eddie. Forgive my laughter, but ScotTroid, we did see Spawn fought with super missiles, which is incredible. And now look at this.
What's going on? This is crazy. Oh, okay.
The dashless new bridge. Come on, yo. Oh my gosh. I mean, Sfor has run such a beautiful route, such a beautiful race, and all I can think about is new bridge. Incredible.
ScotTroid deciding, well, if I'm not winning this race, I'm going to steal the audience. That's for sure.
Now this though, Eddie, we were talking about this about 7 minutes ago. This is a heads-up play from Sforzand0 here, taking the save at Mother Brain with 20 and 8, comfortable ammo, full health, Zeb skip, Mother Brain 1, Mother Brain 2, 60 shot fight, but this is guarantees moving on to the next round.
Yes, absolutely. Just want to guarantee the win because you do have to complete that run, and Sfor's taking every precaution to make sure that he can secure this victory. Meanwhile, we got ScotTroid heading over with this
X-ray.
With his incredible strat. If you ever play randos, this is a good strat to know.
Oh, it's like walking on air, Eddie. Every time I see that strat, it's I got to take one for Professor School. It's poetry in motion. It's wonderful.
Yeah, with this X-ray, lots of ways you can kind of break the game. See if ScotTroid does any of that. But yeah, I mean, just goes to show that Super Metroid 80% is probably the most highly contested category. Is also the most run, but there are a lot of categories in this game that involve you getting these sort of things, and there's also randomizers. So if you do play Super Metroid, you're intimidated by, you know, these amazing runners.
Say it isn't so, Eddie. Say it isn't so.
Just keep in mind that there are a lot of different ways you can play Super Metroid. You don't have to play the 90% run. You could start by playing some randomizers. There's a lot of really fun tournaments and competitive scenes. It's just a great game. Get your hands on the game for sure. Run. There's a lot of the community's great. Everyone is willing to teach you how to play this game. And there's a lot of resources out there to kind of teach you the difficult tricks and whatnot. It's a really fun and rewarding game to learn. Absolutely.
I mean, I am by no means lighting the world on fire with my times, Eddie, but even I dusted off the old controller and participated in 2 qualifiers. It almost made me feel nostalgic for the brief time that I ran this game, quote unquote ran it, but it's a wonderful game. As you said, the community is top notch, and there's a lot of great tutorials out there that if you really want to hit the ground running, you really want to grind some segments of the game or get your boss fights dialed in, there's so many resources. It's fantastic community that doesn't really hold anything close to the chest. Everything is kind of shared pretty equally.
Yes, that's for sure. And you know, there's lots of great runners. We got Sforzand0, ScotTroid. All these players are pretty much going to be willing to help. They're all, you know, most people here are streamers as well. So pop into some, you know, Super Metroid streams. You got any questions? Go ahead and ask some questions. Most players are absolutely willing to help so long as they're not, you know, focused on the run and can't read chat or something like that. But yeah, ultimately here, Sforzand0 getting through the last dangerous part of this run, that Mother Brain 2 fight, did have the save and is looking like he is going to complete this run with that victory.
With style and panache, Eddie, Sfor has had a great race here in this opening round. Just has to get through this treacherous baby cutscene.
I mean,
you may die of boredom if you're just holding onto the controller because it takes so long.
This is always that nice part where if you're on PB pace, you get this huge breather, get to kind of talk with chat a little bit, get that breather before you do that final escape. Because honestly, the last part here, it's not easy. Escape rooms can be tough. This Mother Brain 3 fight can be really tricky based on how her head swings around. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but Sfor is going to finish this round. And, you know, I got to say, let's give it up for ScotTroid here. Really pulling out all the stops. Really making sure he didn't die, you know, through that early game. Got to that got to that Ridley fight. And honestly, it wasn't like you know, he just like fell into the acid or just kind of like got randomly hit. He really tried to make it through, and it was just so unfortunate. Had just 6 health to not take that really difficult like hit that Ridley. I gotta say, it was not a telegraphed thing. ScotTroid realized what happened, and it takes skill to realize Ridley's going to swoop at me, even though that Ridley didn't telegraph the swoop. And he realized it just was a little bit too late. So honestly, all the way till the end, ScotTroid showing that, you know, he really knows this game. And
no doubt,
just, you know, it's a hard game. Super Metroid, it's a hard game.
It's a hard game. It's a hard game, but yeah, and then putting on the little exhibition, the little movement clinic, showing off that moon dance afterwards. I mean, great sportsmanship.
Yeah,
great competitor.
Till the end.
Till the very end, but S4 is going to be moving on. And will be going on to face, as you said, going on to face Shiny Zenny. But ScotTroid moving down to the bottom bracket. So since it is double elimination, it's not over, folks. It's right here on SpeedGaming, you are going to see ScotTroid return to form and be in action in this tournament still.
Yes, definitely. We're going to have ScotTroid will be up against the loser of Ryarin versus either Space Jump or Galen. So Ryarin, obviously a huge monster. But yeah, you know, depending on how this goes, ScotTroid definitely has another batch coming up, and it's gonna be pretty exciting. We got Sforzand0 with a great ball into this landing site.
Love it. That's it.
Get your GGs in chat for Sforzand0 finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 45 minutes and 35 seconds. That is a really good time in a race, for sure.
GG's, very nicely done. And I think we'll see if our runners will join us for an interview, perhaps.
Yep,
where we can debate why is Rhode Island neither a road nor an island? That is my favorite interview question. No, of course not.
All right, so we got ScotTroid in the waiting room, just in that setup. We'll see if we can get Sforzand0 here. But yeah, whenever ScotTroid is ready to go up here, we'll give him a little bit of an interview. But yeah, definitely an exciting race. Man, I gotta say, Sforzand0 looking hot, playing this race so well though.
Finishing not far off of his PB. It's within a minute, I believe.
Yeah,
close to it. But I looked at the schedule, Eddie. We are chock-a-block full of Super Metroid any percent tournament action. There are so many races between such amazing competitors coming our way right here on the various SpeedGaming channels. It's really going to be an exciting tournament. I can already tell. This is only the beginning.
Yes, definitely. Only the beginning. We got so many matches coming up tomorrow, actually. Man, a lot of great matches. And then come Monday, yeah, we just have so many matches coming up. All these players getting scheduled, and it's so exciting.
Tournament season is always my favorite season for Super Metroid speedrunning. And we are joined by today's winner and today's runner-ups, Sforzand0 and ScotTroid. GG's to you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so yeah, Svor and Scott, any thoughts on this run? What happened? I think we definitely brought up some of the struggles that kind of happened, as well as you know, the successes. But yeah, I was wondering if maybe ScotTroid, you could give us a start on what kind of happened in that middle game area.
Just way too nervous the whole run, pretty much. Heart rate up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my early game was so bad because of that.
Yeah, I think I fell in the moat like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the scary part about New Route, you know, in moat, like, you know, you fall in. All right, well, let's just hit the reset button. It's easy. But, you know, when you come to New Route, something like that, you know, you get a bad Phantoon pattern, you get, you know, you fall in the moat, there is no reset button. You got to go ahead and complete it. And something that's finicky in the moat, it's always really, really scary, especially to get across. But yeah, ScotTroid, you did recover some time with the fast.
The quad fast!
I did see you made a little comment about that in chat. It's definitely interesting to see that happen. But yeah, I was wondering, based on the runs that you guys do, are there any sort of safeties that both of you opted to take in this run? Are there any kind of changes that you chose to make, basically, for both of you, Sfor and Scott?
You can go first.
So I've been working on trying to keep the Phantoon on screens as sort of the next thing that I can do to, start PBing and reducing times where I can, trying to stay under that under 14-minute gravity. So I've been working off stream on trying to get those on screens. But ultimately, the problem becomes with the air Dopplers, and I'm not quite confident on those. But the ones that you stay on the ground to get the on-screen, I had been, except that round 2, it became more about like flame management. So when the 2 flames were still up in the back, that caused me a good bit of grief trying to get that on-screen second round.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then, Scott, you did go for the X Factor strats on Ridley. Do you typically go for all 4 X Factors there? Because I know some players do go for 3, and I was just wondering kind of what your approach is generally.
I definitely go for 2, and then sometimes I just don't know how to set it up right. He kind of does the turnaround, and after that I can't go for 3 and 4. But yeah, I do like to go for 4 if he gives me the right pattern.
Yeah, and the X Factor strat's always a little dangerous because, especially if you go for 4, that typically involves basically colliding with his body twice and taking a lot of damage. But yeah, I don't know if you're watching the restream, but we talked about how there's that annoying part about Ridley, how you kind of know he's going into the pogo because he makes that noise and he kind of collides with the wall. But when he's on that right side and you're sort of in the air, he like changes his mind, goes for the swoop. And it looks like you kind of identified that in the end. It was just barely didn't get that jump over him.
So close.
Yeah, did you kind of realize like, oh shoot, he's swooping at this moment when he made that noise and kind of collided with that wall?
Yeah, I was definitely in 100% survival mode, not even trying to do damage, and then he just barely clipped me there.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate. But we're definitely giving you praise there, talking about how you correctly kind of identified, wait a second, he's going for that swoop, and it's just, as you said in chat earlier, this game is hard. It's a hard game.
Just a little bit.
Hard game, hard life.
So you weren't watching the restream, Sforzand0?
I wasn't, no, because I'm too in my own head to even consider what my opponent would be doing.
Well, sorry for taking away a little bit of your awesome run late game, because I kind of memed it up a little bit.
Yeah,
certainly memed it up.
ScotTroid taking that death at Ridley, but gave us a little bit of a little Super Metroid clinic, showing us some really fun strats that you won't see 90%.
Oh, it was terrific.
It never entertains the masses.
So Sfor, I gotta ask you, with this win, I was watching your qualifier results. Did you only play in 6 qualifiers?
I did. There were just 2 of them I couldn't make due to obligations.
And you completed 6 out of 6 qualifiers.
6 out of 6.
Your consistency is actually really, really dangerous. So keeping that in mind, you are up against Zenny in the next round. You got any thoughts on that?
Well,
When you said that.
That was awesome. I want to hear your answer, but that was so good.
You see, my upcoming opponent has made a big mistake. See, he's put a lot of his game tape on YouTube. So all I have to do is scout his game tape and just do what he does. And
my goodness.
And then pray.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
5 head.
That's incredible. Incredible answer.
Yeah, we were definitely saying, for these, Zenny obviously being an incredible runner, a lot of the people in the top 8 are just one of the strongest players in the world. But we're saying if there's anyone that's going to give someone a sweat, it's going to be someone that can do the new route and is able to complete the run without making too many mistakes. And I mean, you 7 for 7 at this point with all the qualifiers. I mean, things can go wrong no matter what route you play. So, I mean, if there's anyone that can kind of put a little bit of fear maybe in some of these amazing titans of runners, I gotta say, Sfor, you're looking pretty good.
I believe.
Thank you for the boost of confidence there. Really do appreciate it. In all seriousness, though, Zenny's guides are where I've gotten a lot of the material, any of the questions that I've had. Zenny is not only top tier, but just an amazing contributor to the community. I'm definitely looking forward to that match. But I harbor no illusions of winning. I just want to look good and finish, and maybe try to clean up the mistakes that I made here.
Absolutely, I think it's a fantastic attitude to have, Sfor, and we really, really look forward to it. We're anticipating a fantastic race between you two.
Yep. So yeah, definitely excited. Yeah. So ScotTroid, Sfor, thank you for joining us. Any last words that you want to say to your Speed Gaming fans out there?
Thank you for the commentary, you two. Thanks for the race, Sforzand0. It was fun.
Yeah, I don't think this is too hard for you to join. We've got a Discord and everything like that. We're welcoming new players all the time, and it's just a wonderful community to be a part of.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely. All right. So that about does it for this match. It's yeah, really excited. This was a great match. One of the first rounds of the gold bracket. So we do have the cream of the crop in this bracket. Sforzand0 taking this one today is going to be going up against Shiny Zenny in that second round. And yeah, so definitely give these runners a follow. And if you can, give us a follow as well. The broadcast crew, thank you so much for everyone helping us. There's a lot of people working hard to make this, to get these races out to you. So thank you so much for everyone for joining us. And we got a lot of matches scheduled. Please watch the schedule to tune in for the other Super Metroid matches. And that'll be it from us for today. So we will see you next mission.